welcome to CWP Presents. I'm Celia Werner, and I am so excited to be here with Clovers Curfew today. Hey, guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Tell me a little bit about who you guys are, just so that, if our audience don't know you, we can get into it.
All right. Well, we're a band that's currently a three-piece. We've been around since 2019, I think it was. And
Yeah,
it started out as a duo that was just Danny and I, and we kind of experimented with cajon and whatnot, percussion for a while. Then inevitably kind of fell into putting a band together. So, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a pretty wild roller coaster.
What's your name?
I'm Jameson.
I'm Danny.
And this is our newest member back here. This is Cam.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
He plays the drums. I play guitar. Danny plays mandolin, violin, and a few other things. So
We both sing.
Yep.
And if you want to say a little about yourself.
I don't sing.
Cam does not sing.
I play the drums, hit things with other things, playing drums for a while. Most recent addition to the band, and I love it, and I love these guys.
Oh, yeah.
I love you too.
I know that you guys have like an eclectic sound, so what would you actually call your genre?
That's a tough one. We get folk punk a lot, but we don't really fall into that genre completely.
Well, so I personally feel like folk punk at its rawest, like statement, folk and punk combined, it makes sense. But when you think of the genre folk punk, we don't necessarily like, so that's how I feel about
I think
that.
we started calling it
Like acoustic punk meets rock and roll. It's like acoustic punk and roll.
Yeah,
kinda
ooh,
like that
I
sort
like
of
that
vibe.
one, yeah.
that's pretty much means maybe if it like got into a huge car accident with cow punk, that's kind of like
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, just like these cows flying in the sky while we're playing.
Sure. Something like that, yeah.
That's an interesting crossover because, like, for bookings, like, what kinds of bands do you guys play with?
We
All kinds
actually
of them,
we
right?
play with it kind of gets us in the door with a bunch of different type
Yeah.
of music because we do have some songs that are a little softer and pokier, but then also we play with a lot of punk bands and hardcore bands and open up a lot of their shows, and that seems to go really well too. So
And I think the mixture, like the versatility, did I say that?
no,
right?
you nailed it.
I think that in that aspect, like the fact that we have such a change of music, like when we go and play for those singer-songwriter vibe shows, we can do that,
Yeah.
like we can strip down to acoustic, even with Cajon, with Cameron, or we can go rock out like a hardcore
drums
show,
and
full drums. I've
pulling
been
members.
filling in on bass. Yeah. So that's the cool part about having such a,
Kind of a versatile sound,
yeah, and screw genres nowadays,
Yeah, you
it's
kinda
like,
just move with the music. Whatever we
Yeah.
write is kind of like I don't want to have to, tunnel that. I want to just if we wrote it, it belongs, So
absolutely.
I have a friend, and he always says that he doesn't like to commit to a genre because genres are like drugs, and he can do all of the different ones. So, but that seems like a similar mentality where you
Yeah.
guys can kind of fit into a lot of boxes, which probably is really helpful for like booking shows and also giving you a lot of room and creativity to create your songs.
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
For sure, yeah.
it does.
In that realm of that sound, it's like there's like that little circle, with everything in life, like it has so many different things in that little
Yeah.
circle, so.
Covers a lot between
Yeah.
that and then the Celtic vibes and all the Celtic jams. You're right. It goes across the board a bit.
Now, with the Celtic, I actually wanted to ask, where did your name come from? Because obviously Clovers Curfew at least sounds very Irish.
Surely.
So what's the story?
I actually don't know the answer to this story.
Okay, Cam has no idea. And we rooted this story around a boy named Clover. The idea that it's a curfew-less child. He's a wild child and a free spirit. And, so Clover's curfew, ideally, there is no curfew. It's kind of
And it's just kind of like how we also lived our lives growing up, like we were just wild children.
Children.
And we have so much history, but we never officially dated until like 5 years ago. But all those histories through those years, we always joke like, we were both way too wild to be together. Like it was just like.
Danny and I have known each other over a decade, actually.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that. But, a lot of history there, a lot of ups and downs.
Well, I hear that there's some recent history, also Irish history. Didn't you guys recently go to Ireland?
We did.
We did, yeah.
It was great. We flew into Galway, and we actually wound up getting engaged there. Woo! It was a pretty wild time. It was cool.
Never thought that happened in my life.
The cliffs of Moher, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. But yeah, it was a wild adventure. Yeah.
It looked like a really cool trip. I know that you guys also were like busking and doing a couple other things on that trip. So you brought your instruments.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
we
did,
bought our
yeah.
instruments and busked in the streets of Galway.
Just a
and
guitar and a mandolin. That's all you really need. A little foot tambourine.
Yeah, we were
so.
like, let's do this thing.
Yeah. It's fun, you know. I've never gotten tipped in euros before, so it was cool to like see a bunch of people throwing change. You almost think they're like making fun of you at first. You're like, why are they throwing change in there? But then you realize the euros are like dollars.
It
It's like,
was
so they're
wild.
throwing $2, $3 at a time. So you're like, oh, this is cool, you
And then
know.
you're like,
It
oh
was
great,
crazy,
this is
yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
But
So-
let's get on to some things that people might know about you guys.
Sure.
What kinds of, I don't know, escapades have you guys been on between? I know you've gone touring and done a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. You want to tell them starting back from?
So during 2020, when a lot of artists, I mean, all of us were just
Hurting.
completely like, oh my goodness, we finally had 2 members that were like bass, drums. We're like, wow, this is like growing. And then, 2020 hit and it just all fell apart. We were back to being like 2 members and we're like, all right, what can we do here
Keep it
to
alive.
keep it alive? Because we can't just sit in our apartment and like,
And lose the momentum that we felt like we were gaining.
Yeah, and
and
we're
also, like the world was quiet, so it's like something had to be done.
yeah,
you know?
and it's easy to fall apart in moments like that. But we, having each other, we were like, all right, we're very fortunate that we have each other. Let's continue this and build something beautiful. So we got very lucky with a van, and
We'd been looking for a van for a little while, but then we got very lucky because of
Yeah.
the pandemic and found that van.
decided to create a series on a YouTube channel called Virtual Van Voyage Tour, Virtual Van Voyage Tour, Voyage, the Virtual Van
The
Voyage.
Van Voyage,
But
yeah.
but yeah, so we got to do that and took our music out into the road like we always dreamed of traveling, and had Fishman battery operated amps. So we went everywhere, like the Grand Canyon. We bought our amps on top, they're battery operated, played like a song, and just recorded everywhere in like the wildest
All these
places.
monumental places,
so cool.
Yellowstone
Yeah.
National Park.
And we were like, let's
and-
keep the music alive. That was like the whole point, was keep the music alive. And honestly, like in a time where a lot of musicians felt like that everything was falling apart for them, we felt like, it was growing for us. We were like, wow, these are opportunities that who knows what would happen if, we tried to
Take
take
lemons and make
we took
lemonade.
the worst and tried to make it the best,
Sure.
and we're very lucky that
And we did.
Yeah, we did.
It
Yeah.
was a great year. I mean, with all the chaos and everything so negative going on, it was a really nice and uplifting thing that for us and hopefully for the people that were watching too. So.
It was cool because there were like, we played some random places too that were like middle of nowhere spots, and there would be people from those small towns that hadn't been
loved
out
it.
in like months, and
Hadn't seen
like
music.
they would call each other because small towns like that, and they all came and sat in their cars watching us play. It was like the wildest stuff, stuff that
wild.
we didn't even capture on camera.
At
that
the
we were
time,
just
there
like,
was no live music. There was no.
yeah,
there was nothing.
It was
so
cool. So
It was great.
Yeah.
In 2021, we kind of did a similar trip. We did 32 states that first trip. We went all the way out to Portland, Oregon, and we wound up recording 2 singles with Jesco Payne of Low Shelf Recording, which shout out to Jesco.
We love you, Jesco.
Can't wait to see you again.
You're the man.
But he took a big chance on us because at the time, everybody was quarantining, and we were calling him, pretty much a stranger, saying, "Hey, want to put us up and bring us in to do these recordings?" And he took a chance. We took a test. We made sure we were all good, and we went and we recorded our first 2 singles with him, and honestly, they came out so amazing that we built this huge friendship that we were like, this feels like where we should be recording our music from
Hell
now
yeah.
on. And
Yeah, and through that, we went out again
21, yeah.
and decided to do another virtual Van Voyage. I have to keep saying it like that, but and decided to switch it up and do collaborations also. So we kept the series going virtually, but like we did a collaboration with Laura Jane Grace of Against Me,
a great
Abby
one.
the Spoon Lady, who is just a wild, like
So
one of the
good.
coolest women I think we'll ever
Love
meet.
Abby.
Such a strong woman, which was very inspiring. Being a female artist, it was cool to just be around somebody like that. And then who else did we do the collaboration with?
We did one with Jesco Payne. We did
Jesco
Joey
Payne,
Harcum.
Joey Harcum.
Joey Harcum's a great guy.
The last
great
trip we went on,
musician.
we did a collab with Days and Days. It's just like, it's been really cool, and like we're very
keeping the music going. So as the world started opening up. We were able to collaborate with these people. Then on our second journey, we wound up recording our full-length album, Skip the Small Talk, that just came out November 21. So that was a lot of fun. Jesco did a great job. He recorded and mixed the whole thing. He also played bass and drums on the album.
Yeah.
And came out with 8 great songs. So we're super excited about that album. And now.
And then we came back home and then we were like, all right, we got to keep this going. So we got a band together and went on a full band tour this
Last
past
summer,
summer. And it was 58 days of just traveling the U.S. playing, and we did it all ourselves. Like we booked all the shows
Full
ourselves.
do-it-yourself tour, yeah.
Which
it
was hard, and I thought
Oh,
my
I
head was
believe
gonna
it.
fall off.
hard and also very what's the word I'm
Exciting.
looking for? Exciting.
Yeah.
Like it was fulfilling is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. Like, cause when you have to build it all yourself, it's like,
So
wow,
many
this
people-
worked.
yeah.
Like this is real. Like this is happening.
And so many people kept warning us, like, oh, just when you do it yourself, be prepared that a lot of shows are gonna fall apart. And nothing fell apart. We got
Nothing.
so lucky.
I think one show we couldn't make
We
because
couldn't,
of a
yeah.
certain situation, but that was realistically it was a really successful tour. Yeah.
Then we
So-
came back from that, had some changes with our band, and which happens, and we wish the best for the people that we went on that tour with. But it led us to
meeting
Cameron,
over here.
and I think everything in life is fate, and I think that now
We
bringing
met
that,
Cam on a whim. We were doing like a random friend's birthday party, just jamming out for him as a duo. And then we had a cajon behind us. He's like, "Hey, can I jump up?" And we were like, "Yeah, come jump up."
you
And
go.
That's literally what happened. So my friend Joe was having like a little surprise party for him, and I'd seen these guys before with him, and they were just like the coolest band ever. And I noticed that they had a cajon behind them, and I'd had a couple drinks, and was basically like. Can I? Do you guys looking for a drummer? And it's like, yeah.
like, yeah,
It's like, yeah, absolutely. Come on up. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, and then we just jammed. For like the rest of the set, and it was
felt
It
awesome.
was
great.
so fun. Yeah.
And then they-
Sometimes that's how the best things happen. It's
Yeah.
all about
And-
timing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane. We exchanged numbers after that, and I was like, "Oh, cool, another connection." And then they like called me like a couple weeks later. It's like, "Hey, you want to come out to this gig?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. That sounds great." That was
There you
crazy.
go.
And it was wild.
Pretty natural,
It
yeah.
was wild too because like when we called him and had him meet up one practice before this show, and we met him up at a practice space, and he just nailed it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Jameson like this guy is like exactly what we have been looking for from the beginning, and it was like we're stoked. We're
Well,
stoked.
I know that that's a recent thing. So,
Very.
speaking of recent things, what are you guys working on now?
Oh, it's funny you should ask.
It's like we planned this.
we actually just confirmed Cam's plane ticket, and the 3 of us are going to be hopping a flight over to Portland, Oregon. So we're going to go record our next album, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited about the songs we've been writing,
And Jesco Payne is now working at this crazy cool studio that we haven't gotten to record in yet, and
Sure.
he's stoked about it. Like we're just all
taking Low
like,
Shelf to the next level. That's
next
right.
level.
Cool.
I'm so excited to see what you guys are going to come up with. If people want to follow you through this journey, where can they find you guys?
Well, you can definitely find us on Instagram. That's Clovers Curfew, one word. On YouTube, the same, Clovers Curfew. It's just spelled out normal.
Yeah, CLOVER''S space CURFEW. Sometimes people don't know.
It helps. It helps.
It does.
We're on most platforms, though. TikTok, you can find us the same, Clovers Curfew.
Yeah.
And our music is streaming everywhere on
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple iTunes, whatever you really
Pandora.
listen to, Deezer.
Just type in our
Whatever
name.
these crazy cats are
Find us
listening
on
to out there.
MySpace.
MySpace,
Oh.
Are you on MySpace?
No.
I don't think, I hope not, because then we don't know about it.
That's fair.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're not on that.
well, thank you guys so much for coming and being a part of the CWP Presents
Of course,
series.
thanks for having
Absolutely.
I'm really excited for everyone to see the music that we recorded here.
We're very
Yes.
excited. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, or if it's Monday and it's coming out on Tuesday, be sure to check it out and be sure to follow these guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
and
you.
Thank
we
you.
will see you guys next time.
Bada bing.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Peace.